ask you a question. What did God say to him after he said, not so long? What did God say? Verse 28, come on.
Verse 28, and he said unto them, ye know how that is an unlawful thing for a man that is a Jew to keep company.
To keep company, what?
Or come unto.
Or come unto who?
One of another nation.
One of another nation, read.
But God has showed me that I should not.
Christ wasn't giving him the vision of that you can eat anything. Look, sis, come over here real quick. Christ was giving him the vision that now you can speak, the southern kingdom of Israel can now speak and deal with the northern kingdom that kept Gentile customs. It had nothing to do with you being allowed to eat unclean food. All right? Period. Now, give me that in Titus real quick. Give me that in Titus. Christ never gave no man allowance or license to eat unclean foods. Christ himself never ate unclean foods. Why did he say now you can do it too? The laws of God are still in effect. He never did away with it. Matthew 5 verse 17. Let's get out of Christ's mouth. Read that real quick. Come on. The brother's mind is stuck in Christianity. All right? Read that real quick. Come on.
The book of Matthew, chapter 5 and verse 17.
Okay, so let me kind of sum it up real quick. When Christ told Peter, arise, kill, and eat, right? He wasn't talking about unclean foods. Us as a people, we were scattered, even in ancient times, throughout the four corners of the earth, right?
Right.
And our people, give me 1 Corinthians 12 and 1. We learned the customs of the Gentiles. Wow. So now, those that kept the laws, the Jews, didn't deal with the northern kingdom of Israel, the Gentiles. But now, since Christ died, he broke that pattern of enmity between the northern and the southern kingdom of Israel. Now we can now deal with the northern kingdom of Israel. Those Jews that thought they were Gentiles, but really they kept Gentile customs. All right, like the Greeks. So now Christ is telling Peter, we can come and bring our brothers back to the fold. You understand that? Read, come on.
The book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 12 and verse 1.
I'm gonna show you how we was Gentiles back then and how we still Gentiles today. Read, come on.
Verse 2.
Read.
Ye know that ye were Gentiles.
At once we were Gentiles. How? Read.
Carried away unto these dumb idols.
We were Gentiles carried away through the customs of the Gentiles. Carried away unto these dumb idols, like Christmas. You're carried away unto a dumb idol, you do the things that the Gentiles do. Give me that real quick, chapter 10. Chapter 10, verse 5. About worshiping the table of Satan and the table of the Lord. Y'all, you know what I'm talking about? Y'all know what I'm talking about? You cannot serve two masters. I got things that the Gentiles sacrifice unto. Go ahead, come on.
The book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 10 and verse 21.
This is what made our people Gentiles back then. They were Jews by nationality and blood, but they were Gentiles in heart and in mind and in spirit because they kept the ways of the Americans or the Greeks or the Gentiles back then, all right? Read on, come on.
Verse 20.
Read.
But I say that the things which the Gentiles sacrifice, they sacrifice to devils.
So the vision that God gave Peter in the book of Acts, he was telling them now, those Gentiles that was off into Hellenistic, Greekish customs, now you can go and deal and teach with them, bring them back to the fold. Read on, come on, read.
And not God. And I would not.
The things that the things that the Gentiles sacrifice unto are of the devil and not of God. All right, read, come on. So today's modern day ways of paganism is Christmas. It's not in the Bible.
Right.
Thanksgiving is not in the Bible. Easter is not in the Bible.
Right.
New Year's, Valentine's Day. That's what makes you a Gentile, because you keep the customs of the heathen.
Right.
Those things ain't written in the Bible. Read, come on.
And I would not that you should have fellowship with devils.
You are not supposed to do the same thing that the Americans do. You're not supposed to assimilate.
Right.
Because look, check this out. You learn Christmas from your slave master.
Right.
You understand that? You was forced to be a Gentile in captivity. We was forced to uphold the ways of being Kappas, Alphas, Omegas, these fraternities and sororities. You understand that? We learned that from the Greekish fashion.
Right.
The root of fraternities and sororities is based off of Greekish fashions that you learned in slavery.
Right.
Come on, read. Let's go.
You cannot drink the cup of the Lord. And the
You
cup
can't say you love God and you're in these fraternities because it has nothing to do with God. They don't bring you to the customs of God in the fraternities. You understand that? You learned that from the Greekish white man customs. You have no origin in that.
Right.
You was forced to worship Zeus. Read, come on.
And the cup
My grandmother was an Eastern Star. All those sororities are based off of what? Off of philosophies of men. Read on, come on.
And the cup of devils. You cannot be partakers of the Lord's table.
You can't be partakers of the Lord's table and celebrate Christmas. Read.
And of the table of devils.
And of the table of devils. Give me Sirach chapter 34, verse 4 real quick. Bring it out. Read. I'm gonna show you. We can't make something that's evil right in our own eyes. With what? The rituals that they do.
Listen,
the hazings.
You know, a lot of, I don't know if y'all be on, a lot of the devils are coming out of how they sold, and they coming out praying for forgiveness.
Give me,
you saw that?
The ways of the Grecians, best of all. Second Maccabees, right. I'm gonna show you that. I'm gonna show you where it started. Because in ancient times, you was forced by death to uphold the ways of the Gentiles, right? The Greeks, right? So I'm gonna show you where it started, because we forsook our customs of being called Israel and keeping God's laws, and by blood we were forced to keep the ways of what we call today like these fraternities or Greek fashions, all right? Read that real quick.
The book of 2 Maccabees, chapter 4 and verse 15.
The point is that we're trying to get you to repent out of the ways of America.
Right.
Read, come on.
Not setting by the honors of their fathers.
Read the verse before that.
Verse 14.
Read.
That the priests had no courage to serve anymore at the altar.
Our leaders didn't have no courage like today to stand up against the oppression that they're in.
Right.
Your Al Sharptons, your Jesse Jacksons,
Right.
they're coons.
Right.
They don't stand up for the people.
Right.
When something go down in the community, they call them Negroes to calm the brothers down. That's all they do. They're coons. They don't raise up
Right.
the community.
Right.
Ain't no real black leaders until
Right.
you see the ones that's teaching God's commandments.
Right. Right.
We about really changing the community.
Right.
Read, come on.
That the priests had no courage to serve anymore at the altar.
Read.
But despising the temple and neglecting the
It starts with the
sacrifice.
leaders. That's how they know how to manipulate who we reverence as leaders. Your Nicki Minaj's, your Lil Wayne's, your Al Sharptons, who they put up as their leaders. You understand? Read, come on.
Hasten.
Okay, and Obama too. They all assimilate themselves with the current state of the world. You understand that? With the government. Read, come on.
Hasten to be partakers of the unlawful allowance
Read.
in the place of exercise.
Come on.
After the game of
The
distance.
place of exercise in gymnasiums,
Right.
in stadiums. This is simply a coliseum.
Right.
And now our young men are being fashioned as slaves on the slave auction to go to the NFL.
Right.
Or the NCAA. You understand that? To work after what? These damn college executives, they get billions of dollars off your sons. All right? Read, come on.
Called them forth, not setting by the honors of their fathers.
They're not setting by the honors of their father. The honors of your father is God gave you Passover. God gave you the Sabbath day, which is today.
Right.
Jesus the Christ, he kept the Sabbath day.
Right.
We hated the laws of our fathers and we wanted to be like the white man, like
Right.
today. Read that again, come on.
Not setting by the honors of their fathers, but like in the glory of the Grecians, best of all.
That's why you get the fraternities and sororities. Because black men were forced to learn the ways of the Grecians. Now we do it willingly, just like Christmas. You understand? Read on, come on. And all these pagan customs, come on, read.
By reason well, so a calamity came upon them. But
Look, and look, when we kept the ways of the heathen, calamities came upon us. You understand that? I'm going to show you a calamity. Give me chapter 6, verse 6. I'm going to show you.
Can I take a picture of it?
Yeah, of course you can. That's for you, sis. Right, that's for you.
the book of 2 Maccabees, chapter 6 and verse 6. Neither was it lawful for a man to keep 7 days.
This is why you were forced to learn the ways of the Grecians, right? Because it wasn't law for you to profess yourself as an Israelite. Read, come on.
Or ancient feasts, or to profess himself at all to be a Jew.
So sis, you remember that scene in Roots, remember?
Yeah.
When Toby was up there?
Yeah.
His name was Kunta Kinte. Go ahead.
They beat it to they told his name, they made him change his name, right?
Yes. So either by death or punishment, you were forced to learn the ways of your oppressor, even with your name. What's your last name? Read this real quick. I'm gonna show you. So come on. Read. Come on.
Neither was it lawful for a man to keep 7 days.
It wasn't good for you to keep Sabbath days, meaning your husbands and you and your household, right? It wasn't lawful for you to keep the ways of your custom, of your true heritage, which is this Bible. Read. Come on.
Or ancient feasts.
Or ancient feasts, meaning what? Passover, the feast of dedication, the destruction of Nicanor, Purim. What else? The Sabbath days, the new moons. There's so many days of celebrations that God gave you, and we forsook that trying to be like the white man.
That's right.
Read, come on.
Or to profess himself at all to be a Jew.
You couldn't profess yourself to be a Jew. They force you to call yourselves Grecians. Today, they force you to call yourselves Negroes, African American. You understand that? And your last names. Those are not the names of our heritage. Read, come on.
And in the day of the king's birth every month,
Read.
they were bought by bitter constraint
Come on.
to eat of the sacrifice.
What we're talking about is how our forefathers and foremothers was forced. They was bought by bitter constraint. They was, check. Our forefathers and foreparents, our ancestors, were forced to learn the ways of the Grecians like we uphold today. We don't like the ways of what the Bible say. What the Bible say, how we're supposed to keep the ways of the Sabbath day. Check. About the Sabbath day, we don't uphold those customs. Read, come on.
To eat of the sacrifices. And when the feast of Bacchus was kept, the Jews was compelled.
Today's modern day Bacchus is what you call Christmas. Saturnalia, you understand that? Where they revel. Why do you think when you put a mistletoe up, you gotta kiss somebody, whoever under it? It's based off of orgies, wine and sex. Christmas is, you understand? Why did Jesus Christ ever put a gift under a damn tree? It's not written in the Bible. Did Santa Claus visit Christ on his first birthday? These were lies that was taught to you. Read, come on.
Moreover, there went out a decree to the neighbor cities of the heathen by the suggestion of Ptolemy against the Jews that they should observe the same fashions and be partakers of their sacrifice.
What we just witnessed right here in the scriptures is where white men said these are Jews that's in our hoods, that's in our neighborhoods, that's in our nation, they must keep the customs of us Grecians. You understand that? Read, come on. And what if you didn't? Read.
And whoso would not conform themselves to the manners of the Gentile.
If you didn't want to conform, meaning if you didn't want to fold or bend the knee to the customs of the white man and his Greekish fashions, like these fraternities and sororities, read, come on,
should be put to death.
Just like in slavery. They force you to keep the ways that you keep today. But that's not your heritage.
What is a nation? Nation is men leading by example. Nation is family. Nation is community. Nation is children with role models. Nation is unity. Nation is you.
And finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord. His word